Transformer channel. So now today I would like to explain about the soil preparation topic. Okay, so before starting with that, I would like to explain about the agricultural practices. Okay, so in agricultural practices means like in agricultural field, farmers perform different functions for example, before or sowing the seed in the soil, farmers do the soil preparation, means like ploughing, like that they'll do like that only. Farmers with their knowledge or okay, so with their knowledge they have created few steps which to be followed in order. For example, step should be done at the first, and by using these equipments like that they have created. Okay, so like that only agriculture means farmers have created so many steps, and those means like steps is nothing but agricultural practices. Okay, so these agricultural practices is nothing but like we can also call as the activities which is performed in agricultural land. Okay, so those are divided into 6 steps. The first one is soil preparation, which I am going to explain now. Okay, so second one is selection and sowing of seeds, and third one is irrigation, fourth one is weeding and crop protection, fifth one is harvesting, and the last one is storage. So these are the 6 steps must done before cropping the plants, because if farmers perform these 6 steps perfectly with by using the maximum using the maximum water and the maximum time, means at this time this should be done, at that time that should be the, like that farmers do prepare, no, like that only. These 6 steps, if they perform perfectly, the crops would grow healthily with good and productively. Okay, so for growing like those crops, farmers have divided into 6 steps with order, by ensuring in order. Okay, so the first one is the soil preparation. So soil preparation is nothing but to prepare the soil. Okay, so not most of the farmers, all farmers prepare the soil before sowing the seeds. Why do they prepare the soil? So because of that, I'll say you. So before that, soil, I would like to explain about the soil. Okay, so soil is the main medium for the plants. Okay, so soil is the main medium for the plants, because soil gives more encouragement or supports to the plants, like growing, in help of growing they does. Okay, that's because if soil is not there, even plants also not there. Okay, that's what, because the soil nutrients, means like nutrients and minerals contained in the soil, that's what plants grow in this soil. Okay, so the soil is the most important. So if plants should grow in this soil, the soil should be prepared. So what is the meaning of soil preparation? Soil preparation is nothing but to loosening the soil. Okay, so based on this soil preparation is divided into 3 types. In soil preparation, it is divided into 3 types: ploughing, leveling, and applying fertilizer. So these are these are the first 3 steps, which is the main important 3 steps. In these 3 steps, ploughing is the main and the most important step, which is done before farming. Okay, so because if farmers doesn't do ploughing, it means that other steps also, if they follow, means like before I have said, no, selection and sowing the seeds, weeding, okay, and irrigation, harvesting, those all are is nothing but waste, because plants doesn't grow good and productively. Why the plants doesn't grow good and productively? Because first I'll explain about the ploughing. So ploughing is the first step. Now the ploughing is the first step which is done in agricultural field before cropping a plant. Okay, so ploughing is nothing but process of loosening the soil. What's the meaning? Process of loosening and turning the soil is known as ploughing, because Most of us know that hard soil, if we plant a seed or we sow a seed in a hard soil, after few days we may observe that seeds have been damaged because of the hard soil. Okay, why this hard soil? If we sow a seed in the hard soil, why these seeds doesn't grow? Because in the hard soil there are no more spaces. There are spaces in it, but not much done. Okay, that's what seeds. They have so many difficulties like absorbing the air, okay, sunlight and water. They have so many difficulties because there are no more spaces. There in that tough soil or the hard soil, there are only less spaces or limit spaces in it. Spaces is nothing but spaces between the soil. Okay, so they has only less or the minimum spaces. That's what they cannot even absorb it. That's what will happen after few days without absorbing those all things, they may die or they will die. Okay, that's what, to do not ensure these steps or like these problems, farmers have started this as the ploughing, the first step before sowing the seeds. So ploughing is nothing but loosening the soil. Okay, if farmers does loosening the soil, then seeds can absorb the sunlight, air and water easily, and they can absorb more and efficiently. Okay, so I think you guys have understood why this ploughing is very important, and now I would like to explain the reasons why do the farmers use ploughing step before sowing the seeds. So here are the few points. Here are the few points that describes that why the ploughing step is very important before sowing the seeds. So this step is done, and why this step is done. Okay, so the first reason is it allows the roots to reach deeper. Yes, this is the correct one. So by loosening the soil, what will happen after loosening the soil? If you sow the seeds will grow into the plant, and the roots of the plant goes much deeper to it, and it will be stronger. Means we cannot, if these roots will go much deeper to the soil, we cannot even try to, what do you say, remove from this soil, because the roots have gone deeper to the soil and they have firmly holded to the soil, so that plants cannot be cut down. I mean, plants cannot be removed by hands. That's what, this is the first main important reason which is done. Okay, the loosening of the soil. Okay, how these roots can go in much deeper to the soil, because there are so many spaces and these roots can easily go much deeper to it. That's what this is the first what to say, good reason. So I'll give this reason a thumbs up. Okay, so the second reason is helps trapping air, water, sunlight and nutrients. So this is the second correct point, as I have discussed before about this point. Yeah, so the seeds which is sown in the soil, in the loosened soil, these seeds can absorb more water, more sunlight and more, and say what? More water, more air, more sunlight, and even they can absorb more nutrients to it. That's what this is the main important, means ploughing is the main important step which is done before sowing the seeds. So this is the second reason, and the third reason is helps in bringing nutrient rich soil at the top. So if there's a, so here's the loosened soil. If there's a loosened soil, it also helps to bringing the nutrient rich, means like example humus soil. Humus is the best in nutrient rich soil. That's what this humus soil will settle upon the loosened soil, so that in this their nutrients will contain so many, and thus the plants can absorb more. So this is probably these. So these are all the reasons, and the fourth reason is helps to mix the fertilizers. Fertilizers is nothing but which mix one or more nutrients and forms a fertilizer. Okay, so nowadays farmers use chemical fertilizers. I'll discuss about you after the leveling. Okay, means so after ploughing, after leveling, applying fertilizer. So after doing these both steps, fertilizers been ensure to the soil. I'll discuss about it later. Okay, so the last reason is helps to remove weeds at the top. Weeds is nothing but undesirable plants or unwanted plants. So we will observe grass or wild oats. I'll discuss you in next videos. I'll explain you about it. But now only I'll explain about some what about the weeds. Okay, so weeds are nothing but undesirable plants which is grown upon the crops. Means for example, if farmers have planted a crop, means for example, we'll take a wheat. Farmers have ensured wheat crops in a field. So after ensuring or planting the wheat crops, these after few days, not few days, after few weeks, few months, we can observe the few grasses which is grown upon the crops. Okay, so these crops are known as unwanted plants because these plants absorb more nutrients and then not give to even to the crops these nutrients in even sunlight, water and air. So to do not ensure these things, by loosening the soil, we can easily remove the unwanted plants or the weeds. Okay, so these are the reasons why the ploughing is the most important step done before sowing the seed. Okay, so this is about the ploughing and so agricultural implements. So what is the agricultural implements? Agricultural implements is nothing but those are the tools which is done in agriculture field. So the first three implements or the agricultural tools which is used in the first ploughing step is trowel, hoe and plough. So these three are the first three implements which is used in the first step of the ploughing. Okay, so but nowadays most of the farmers, they are not using these things. They are using cultivators. Cultivators will be like plough implement, but they ensure back of the tractor, and this tractor moves around the this tractor moves in the farm field, and backside the cultivators which are there, they will bring like this. Okay, they rear on the soil like this. Okay, so this is the steps which is done in the ploughing step. Okay, I think you guys have understand. Okay, so now coming to the leveling. So this is about the ploughing. So now coming to the leveling. So now coming to the leveling. So leveling, this is the second process which is done in the agricultural land. So the first process is ploughing, which I discussed before. So this is the second process, leveling, which is done in agricultural land. Okay, so leveling is after ploughing, big lumps of soil remain in the field. Okay, after ploughing also, so in the first step, after ploughing the soil also, the big lumps is nothing but a clots of soil. Big lumps is nothing but a hardness of soil. That soil looks like a rock, but it's a soil. So those are known as big lumps. Okay, those big lumps remain in the field. Okay, so after ploughing also, these big lumps of soil remain in the field. Okay, so crushed using wooden or iron planks. So to avoid this big lumps of soil and loosen the soil, everything around the field, so farmers use after ploughing, farmers use iron planks or wooden planks. Iron planks or wooden planks are nothing but those. This is the second agricultural implement or agricultural tool which is used in the agricultural land. Okay, so this is the second implement which is used in the agricultural land. Okay, so iron planks is used to loosen these big lumps of soil. Okay, so this process is known as leveling. Leveling is nothing but this is a shortage of what to say, it's not coming my brain, once again. Oh god. Okay, the leveling, this is a shortage process which is done by the farmers, and this is done in shortage of time, but farmers have to force their full of their power onto it. Okay, so this is about the leveling. So now coming to the applied fertilizers. Applied fertilizers. So this is the third step which is done in agricultural land. Okay, which is performed by the farmers in the agricultural land. Okay, so until now the first two steps, or the first two actions which is performed by the farmers, these two steps have perfectly done, and now we can understand that this soil is very fertile and the plants can grow very healthily. So, but after the sowing the seeds and growing the plants, after a few days or the few months, not few days, after a few weeks or the few months, we can observe that the poor growth in the plants, and hence we can observe, the farmers also can observe that the soil is infertile. So infertile is nothing but means there's no more nutrients in the soil, and hence it's helpless. So how this is happening? So because the plants or the crops which is grown in the agricultural land, they absorb, no, for example, few crops have perfectly absorbed these nutrients, and other crops not much more they have absorbed. So like this, so many problems may occur, and hence few plants or the few crops may die. So to avoid like these situations or the problems which are occurring, and farmers even they cannot face, they have to use the fertilizers. So fertilizers is nothing but, fertilizers are natural or chemical fertilizers which contain one or more nutrients. Yes, fertilizers are nothing but it's neither natural nor chemical fertilizers which contains one or more nutrients. It may contain 2 nutrients in the fertilizer, or 3 or 4, or they wish. So many nutrients can contain in the fertilizers. So fertilizers is divided, and if farmers use fertilizers in plants, so these plants can absorb these nutrients. Okay, so that's what fertilizers is the third step which is done after loosening the soil and perfectioning the soil. Fertilizers is applied to the soil which is stored for the emergency time. If after growing the plants, if there's infertile founded by the farmers, they apply some fertilizers on the plants so that they can absorb easily. Okay, so fertilizers is divided into 2 types: natural fertilizers and the chemical fertilizers. So these are the 2 fertilizers which is divided by the farmers. So in these 2 fertilizers, natural fertilizers is nothing but which comes from the plants and animals waste, so naturally occurrence. Okay, so these are the natural fertilizers. Coming to the chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers is released or made from which the wastage or the air or the any other nutrients which is released from the factory. So this is used as a fertilizers, and henceforth nowadays farmers are using mostly chemical fertilizers, because the chemical fertilizers easily they are getting in the markets, in the shops, and even the government are providing them the chemical fertilizers. But rare farmers or few farmers are using the natural fertilizers. Okay, so natural fertilizers are the best fertilizers, whereas chemical fertilizers are the best and they provide nutrients to plants, but sometimes it may be dangerous. Okay, so here's I have drawn a table, means differentiation between the natural fertilizers and the chemical fertilizers. Okay, So the first point of the natural fertilizer is obtained from plants and animals waste. Yes. So the first point of natural fertilizer is obtained, means fertilizers is obtained from the plants and animals waste. Animals waste is nothing but like shit. Okay, and plants. I think you guys love. Okay, I'm getting loved by you. Okay, leave this. And the plants means is nothing but few plants may die. Okay, with the dying, the nutrients which is remain in the plants, or the even the we can observe so many leaves are falling down. Okay, so there's a tree every time, means if there's a heavy breeze or gentle breeze, then the leaves of these trees fall onto the ground and they become dry. So these dry leaves also contains nutrients, and these also used as a fertilizers, and the shit also used as a fertilizer which is released by the animals. And the what do we say, and the how, oh god, okay, so okay, I'm not getting that point. Okay, leave it that one. Okay, plants means dry leaves they'll use as a fertilizers, and dead yeah, now I got the point. Dead organisms such as the plants and animals which is dead is remain in the soil, and after and these dead organisms is used as the fertilizers, and these also known as natural fertilizers. So these are the natural fertilizers. Okay, so coming to the chemical fertilizers. Chemical fertilizers, the first point is produced in factories. Okay, so chemical fertilizers, how it's made? It's made, but it is released through the factory. So the wastage which is left over in the factories, it is released outside and is mixed into the water and blah blah blah. Okay, so chemical fertilizers is produced from the factories, and this is used as the chemical fertilizers. But this is best to the plants, but it may damage, or there may be so many occurrence of danger problems such as the wastage of water. For example, not wastage of water, the water become like what we say, the water become like wastage, like how what can I say, so the wastage which is released from the factories, that is mixed, few waste can be mixed through the water, and hence this water can be become like a containment water. So this containment water, in this water the aquatic animals which is made like fishes, okay, and etc., these animals also may die. So to avoid like this, factories members should avoid, means like they should not released at outside, and they should use like garbage, like a big garbage they'll maintain, but remaining, if there's remaining extra waste, they'll release it outside. So this they're not correct point, guys. Please support us, not to me also, us, we, ours. Okay, so to avoid this one, we should fight against it, so that the aquatic animals remain healthily and happily. Okay, so this about the chemical fertilizer, how it's made. Okay, so the second part of the natural fertilizers is increased humus content in the soil. So if natural fertilizers is used in the soil, which the farmers are being planted in the soil. Okay, if natural fertilizers is used in the soil, this fertilizer helps to increase the humus content. Means humus soil, like humus soil type, it helps to increase it. Okay, so this is also very helpful. Okay, if the farmers use this natural fertilizers into the soil. Okay, so the chemical fertilizers, so do not increase humus content in soil. So chemical fertilizers just they gives the nutrients, but not they'll increase the humus content in the soil. That doesn't increase the humus content, but they'll give the nutrients to the plants, so that the plants can absorb and live happily. Not live happily, it grows well. Okay, so the third point of the natural fertilizers is examples: compost, bone meal, and manure. So these are the examples of natural fertilizers, whereas the chemical fertilizers, urea, ammonium sulfate and potash. So these are the examples of chemical fertilizers which is released from the factories, and these compost, bone meal is nothing but the bones of the animals which is remained in the natural or environment and the manure. Okay, so these are the examples, and hence this is about the applying fertilizers. I hope you guys have understood about this. What do we say? Fluffing, leveling and applying fertilizer. So these three is included in the first soil preparation step. So the next step is selection and sowing of seeds. So to get and know about these points, I'll explain in the next video. So bye bye guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. And please, if you liked my video, so please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the bell button for upcoming videos. Okay, so bye guys, see you next video. Bye.